Don't give advice from a jealous point. That is usually just projection, you know. Advice given from a place of jealousy rarely serves the other person. It becomes less about support and more about subtle control, insecurity, or even emotional discharge. You know, when we speak from jealousy, we are not guiding, we are just offloading. We are trying to reclaim a sense of power by criticizing someone else's freedom or even success. And this is often unconsciously, you know. Then now, jealousy becomes disguised as guidance. You know, jealousy doesn't always show up as envy or bitterness. Sometimes it wears the mask of concern or even wisdom. You might hear someone say, "Are you sure that's realistic?" Or even, "I won't do that if I were you." You're moving too fast, slow down. On the surface, this may sound like helpful advice, but beneath it, it can be a projection of fear, a projection of regret, or even a hidden belief that someone else should not do what you never allowed yourself to do. So instead of advising from your highest self, you are advising from your most triggered self. You need, first of all, to understand unsolicited advice is the same as uninvited intrusion. Even well-meaning advice can feel intrusive when it is unsolicited, you know. Because unsolicited advice often assumes that you don't know what you're doing. It's like, "I know better than you. Your journey should look like mine." This strips the other person off their agency. It undermines their unique process. No. Life is not a formula. It is an individual unfolding. What worked for you might derail someone else. So offering advice without consent can turn into a subtle violation of someone else's autonomy. You know, especially when it is rooted in your own discomfort rather than their actual need. What you need to do is just focus on your life. That is the most powerful way to help others. It is not to advise them constantly, but to live in alignment with yourself. When you focus on healing your own insecurities, building your own clarity, making peace with your own path, then you naturally become someone whose presence gives permission, not pressure. You know, people don't need your instructions nearly as much as they need your example. So only give advice when asked. And even then, pause. You know, even when someone asks you for advice, check your energy first. Ask yourself, am I speaking from wisdom or from a wound? Offer your perspective with humility, not certainty. Because ultimately, good advice doesn't tell people what to do. It reminds them of what they already know but haven't yet trusted. You know, in short, advice rooted in jealousy is often disguised as projection. And unsolicited advice assumes that your way is the right way. And it rarely is, you know. So manze, focus on your living. Focus on living your truth, not preaching it. Let your life be the advice, not just your words. And if you're going to advise, let it be from awareness, not insecurity. In a world full of noise, grounded silence can be more healing than unfiltered opinions. My people, heal. Heal.